Hello and welcome to Startup Hack. Today we are going to talk about unit testing with ILogger in .NET Core. So let's jump right in. Make sure to check out the link down below because we always provide the code samples that you can pull down and follow along so you can see in our project. Do you want to earn $100,000 a year? Do you want to become a software developer within just 3 months? With our amazing course and awesome tutors, you never have to worry about getting stuck. We help students to learn skills that companies want to hire. We are Startup Hack. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. So let's get started. Right, let's consider a service class calculation service that has a dependency on ILogger calculation service object. We are going to test the contrived add two positive numbers in A and B method. So here's example. Right, let's start with the first test method. Replace ILogger with null-logger. The null-logger implements ILogger and it is a minimalistic logger that does nothing. In other words, it does log message to any place and it swallows exceptions. It is worth mentioning that both the ILogger interface and the null-logger class are included in the NuGet package microsoft.extensions.logging.abstractions. In a lot of cases, the logging system doesn't participate in business logic or business rules. Therefore, we don't need to care much about what the iLogger does in the system under test SUT. Then, in these scenarios, the null-logger object is a perfect replacement of the iLogger object in unit test. The following code snippet shows an example. So here's the example. In the test here, we substitute a new null-logger calculation service or null-logger calculation service instance object to the service constructor, which indicates that the test has nothing to do with the logging system. I would say that it is acceptable in most cases. Thanks to .NET library, the null-logger implementation saves us a lot of overhead. Second test method is create a real iLogger that logs to console. In some unit tests, we might want to take a peek at the message which the iLogger T object output. Particularly, we would like to log messages to console that we can analyze the result or save a copy of the test report during the continuous integration process. We have two ways to get a logger. Number one, create a logger through a LoggerFactory, and number two, get a logger from the DI system. In either way, the underlying mechanism is using a LoggerFactory, which adds a console provider to create a logger. During unit testing, you might find that the console output does always flush out because logging in .NET Core runs in a separate thread. In order to force the output stream to flush the console, we need to use the tricks of calling console.writeline in the unit test or disposing the LoggerFactory. So here's the unit test shows the instantiate of a LoggerFactory by calling var LoggerFactory is equals to new LoggerFactory dot add console. Note that starting from .NET Core 3.0, we need to update the instantiation method to be var LoggerFactory LoggerFactory.createBuilder equals to builder.addConsole. In the unit test, the using clause is necessary to flush the console output which dispose the LoggerFactory. So here's the example. We need to install and get package microsoft.extensions.logging.console. So you can see in the unit test result and the console output. As mentioned here, the other way to get logger is through the DI system, in which we first build service provider, then get the LoggerFactory, then create a logger. So here's how you can do with this method. So you can see the output, it's also running the same as above. So the last test method using iLogger is mock an iLogger object. Occasionally we may come across scenarios in which logging is a part of business requirements and we need to test and verify logging is actually working. In these kind of scenarios, we can borrow mock library to create a stub. So you will quickly notice that logger.log information, logger.log error, and other methods are extension methods of the iLogger type. We certainly can do something fancy to test whether the calls actually hit the log method. However, we might ask ourselves, do we really need to test down the infrastructure level? Let's face the trade-off. To mock an iLogger object, we can use MOQ library to instantiate a new mock iLogger object. Make sure you have installed the latest mock package. So support nested type matchers. Then the unit test is straightforward. We can verify the logger is called at its specific log level, and with a specific message. The following code snippet shows the example unit test, which verifies an information level message and an error level message. So here's the example. So when I run this test, including all the tests, you will see the text mark logger is also showing the log output. So it's good to go. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned how you can use ILogger in unit tests in .NET Core. So don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates. To joining our course, you can simply go to our website called startuphack.com. Thank you.